Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Amira. Today I'm going to present to you the topic about the elasticity of supply. The meanings of the elasticity of supply is the degree of responsiveness of the quantity supplied of a product to the change in its price. Next, in the elasticity of supply, there is a formula that we use to calculate the elasticity of supply. So let's take a look at the formula. The first formula is ES equals to percent change in quantity supplied divided by the percent change in price. Next, ES equals to change quantity supplied divided initial supply and multiply by 100 and divided change in price divided initial price and multiply by 100. Next, ES equals to change in quantity 1 minus quantity 0 divided quantity 0 and multiply by 100. Also divided change in price 1 minus P0 divided P0 multiply by 100. The second last, ES equals to change quantity divided quantity multiply price divided change in quantity. The last one, ES equals to change quantity divided change in price multiply by price divided quantity. Okay, next let's talk about supply in elasticity. ES more than 1. Okay. Therefore, there is a formula which is ES equals to Q2 minus Q1 divided by Q1 multiplied by P1 divided by P2 and minus P1. Okay guys, I know you are still confused. What is quantity 2, quantity 1, P1, P2? So let me explain. Q2 is for new quantity. Quantity 1 is for all quantity. P1 is for all price. P2 is for new price. Okay. So the explanation is quantity 2 is a new quantity that subtracted from all quantity Q1 and divided by all quantity Q1 and multiplied by all price P1 divided by new price P2 and minus all price P1. I have one tips you guys to memorize this formula. Like my old school, I'm using Q1 Q0 divided Q0 multiply P1 divided P0 minus P0, and we spell as Kikoko Popipo. It sounds like funny, but we can memorize it easily. Kikoko Popipo. So you guys practice this formula because this is important and easily you to memorize. Kikoko Popipo. And now let's see the graph at here. So the quantity is Q1 increased to Q2 and the price P1 increased to P2. With this formula, we can know if it is elasticity. Okay, then I will show you some information about this small topic. The first is, as a value of supply, price elasticity greater than 1. Right. ES is more than 1. Second one is percentage change of quantity offered is greater than percentage of price of goods. So next, it's very responsive to price changes. Next, the supply curve is more sloping. And the last one, for example, manufactured goods such as television, refrigerators, handbags, handphones, it's more to the expensive materials, and then this information can be explanation to the elasticity curve. This is the information you can use this information for the answer. Okay, that's all from me. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, I want to tell about the types of prices, elasticity of supply. Okay, the first one is perfectly inelastic, equal to 0. This is a graph that shows that the quantity supplied is unaffected by a change in price. This is the graph. Okay, so next, perfectly inelastic supply. Perfect inelastic supply is when the PES formula equals to 0. That is, there is no change in quantity supplied when the price changes. Examples include products that have limited quantities such as land or painting from deceased artists. Okay. Inelastic goods are often described as necessities, while elastic goods are considered luxury items. Okay, so next, price inelastic equals to 0. The supply curve is vertical. There is no response of demand to prices. Supply is perfectly inelastic. A shift in price does not drastically impact consumer demand for the overall supply of the good because it is not something people are able or willing to go without. Examples of inelastic goods would be water, gasoline, housing, and food. Alright, thank you.
Perfect elasticity is unrealistic. However, the curve can be explained by a little of imagination. If supply curve is perfect elastic, it means that any change in price will result in an infinite amount of change in quantity. So the formula for perfect elastic supply is percent change in quantity supply divided by percent change in price. So this is the perfect elasticity supply curve. So the graph shows that the curve of supply is straight in horizontal. So there will be no change in price if the quantity is decreased or increased. So this perfect elasticity supply, so the elasticity supply is infinity because the price is not changed if the quantity is changed. Unit elastic describe a supply curve which is perfectly responsive to change in price. This is the quantity supplied change according to the same percentage as the change in price. A curve with an elasticity of 1 is unit elastic. So this is the graph of unit elastic. So we can see that if the quantity change 10%, increase in 10%, so the price also will increase in 10%.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Lokmanul Hakim bin Nur Azman. Today I would like to talk about inelastic. So inelastic is one of the types of prices elasticity of supply. So that's it. So inelastic, the amount is less than 1. So what did I say by let the amount is less than 1 is because if the percent change in quantity divided by percent change in price, or elasticity supply quantity 2 minus quantity 1 divided by quantity 1 minus price 1 divided by price 2 minus price 1 equals to less than 1. So it is called inelastic. So the percentage in quantity supplied is less than the percentage in price. You will be more understand after the next PowerPoint. So the curve is steep sloping. You're probably wondering what is steep sloping curve looks like, right? Well, let me show you. So this is a steep sloping curve look like. It is slightly slanted to the right. So this, but however, there is one more curve, and that is this one. So this one is called gentle sloping curve. So you can see the differences between these two, right? This is slightly slanted, but this is too much, too slanted. Okay, but there is another difference between these two. This is for inelastic, but this is for elastic. Okay, elastic is also one of the types prices of elasticity of supply, but is more but this is more than 1, bigger than 1. So there is a difference between that. So next, you guys already understand what is a steep sloping and a gentle sloping curve. And now I will present this one. So this is an example of graph uh, for inelastic. So you can see the percent here of price is bigger than percent in quantity. So yeah, it says right here the percentage in quantity supplied is less than the percentage in price. Is less, okay? Less. So this is 5, this is 15. For those who don't know how to use this, let me show you. So let's say, so for those who don't know how to use this formula right here, I will quickly show you how to do it, alright? So let's say this is quantity 1, quantity 2, and let's say this is 5 and 7. Alright, this is price 1, this is price 2. So let's put the amount here, maybe 2 and 4. Alright, so just put um, uh, this number over here, all of this into the formula. Alright, so Q2 minus Q1. So let's see, Q2 is 7 minus Q1 is 5. So 5 divided by Q1 is 5 minus P1. P1 is 2 and divided P2 minus, alright, sorry, this is P1. Okay, P1. So P2 is 4 and P1 is 2 minus 2, right? So you will get here 7 minus 5 divided by 5 will be 0.4 minus 2 divided by 2 equals to 1. So the answer will be 0.6. So this amount is less than 1. Less than. Okay, I hope you understand that. So that is all for me. Thank you for watching and see you again.
Okay, today we talk about determining price elasticity of supply. So, what is the price elasticity of supply? Price elasticity of supply measure relationship between change in quantity supply following change in price. If supply is elastic, then producer can increase output without any risk or time delay. But if the supply is inelastic, firm find it hard to change production in a given time period. Okay. Uh, Factor which determine the degree of price elasticity of supply. So first factors is a time period. If the period of commodity rise and the producer have enough time to make adjustment in the level outputs, the elasticity of supply will be more elastic. But if the time period is short and the supply cannot expand after a price increase, so the supply will be inelastic. The second factor is the ability to store the outputs. Which good can be safely stored have a relative elastic supply over the goods which are variable and do not have a strong facilities. Factory mobility. The factor of supply can be easily moved from use to other. It will affect the elasticity of supply. The higher factory mobility of factory is greater the as elastic supply of good versa vice versa. So the second is marginal cost. Is the fourth one is marginal cost. If the expansion of output marginal cost increase and marginal return decline, the price elasticity of supply will be less elastic to that extent. So as excess supply is a when they have excess capacity, the producer can increase output easily to take advantage of the rising price. If production already maximum for existing resources, the rising price will not affect supply in short period. When infrastructure the last one is infrastructure facilities. When infrastructure facilities are available for expanding output of a particular good in response to the price, the elastic supply will be relative more elastic. So that's all from me. Thank you.